Hey everyone! Welcome to Reality TV News Update, the place where you never miss a moment from your favorite shows. For the sixth time in her Survivor career, Cirie Fields came painfully close to the end and fell just short of final tribal council. A celebrated legend of the series, the New Jersey native played arguably her most impressive game yet, which is why she can walk away feeling at peace after her torch was snuffed. "I'm feeling great," Cirie exclusively tells Men's Journal. "I feel like I did everything I could. I have zero regrets this time. There's not an advantage getting or something. No fire challenge exists, even down to my Hail Mary. There was nothing I could have done. I feel like I did everything I should and could in this game." In her exit interview with Men's Journal, Cirie opens up about knowing she was the biggest threat in the game, reacts to Amanda Kimmel almost returning for Survivor 50, Ozzy's Lust's emotional apology at Ponderosa, and why she refuses to hold resentment toward ally Rizzo Velovic for writing her name down. Scroll down to read the full interview with Cirie. Men's Journal, looking back on the episode and knowing what was coming. "How are you feeling today, Cirie Fields? I feel awesome. I feel great. I feel like I did everything I could. I have zero regrets this time. There's not an advantage get them or something. No fire challenge exists. I feel like I did everything I should and could in this game. And I got so much because I was there with Mr. Even down to my last minute Hail Mary. There is nothing I could have done. Beast, okay? I was there with people. Outsiders brought into our little bubble for the first time in 50 seasons. So, yes, I do. Sharon, I feel great." Men's Journal, people are saying this is strategically your most impressive game. How do you feel about your gameplay this season? Cirie Fields, I agree with them, because I knew they will be after me the second I hit the beach. And they were, and from Jenna's mouth to God's ears, she said, the second we hit the sand. She wanted me out, and I knew that would be the case, and still I rise, so I feel like, again, no regrets. Men's Journal, what do you think went wrong with your game? Was there anything particular that stood out to you? Cirie Fields, no, because of the people that were still in the game, the outcome, even if Devens was still there, it would still be the same outcome, because when you hear them speak, even when I went to Joe, so what are you thinking, Joe? Nobody will ever be able to beat you in the end. Joe tells me, at that point, I knew that the signs were there. I knew that the people left besides Tiffany would not ever want to sit next to me. In the end game, Men's Journal, Ozzy didn't have the greatest things to say about Rizzo in his exit press. How are you feeling about Rizzo today? Knowing he wrote your name down? Cirie Fields, Rizzo is young, and Rizzo is hungry, and Rizzo, just like every other person out there, wanted to win, right? So it's like my 3 sons, all of them older than Rizzo. And they have done things in life and made mistakes in life. But do I turn my back on them? Do I don't love them anymore because they did something foolish or something against what I would have thought they should have done? No. And Rizzo was playing the best hand he thought he had, right? He believed he would not win, and his sole objective was to win by any means necessary. Even though we would have gone with him, he was aware that we would never be able to go to the end together. Can I therefore be mad at him for that? No, I'm not mad at him. Men's Journal, did you ever consider turning on Rizzo? Or were you ride and die for Ozzy and Rizzo? Cirie Fields, once you prove to me, and I don't get any reason or any information or any feeling of it that you're not to be trusted, or you lied to me directly in my face. I'm not aware of any of that. That solidifies if I feel like I can trust you. Then I ride with you till the wheels fall off. Men's Journal, Stephanie claims that her greatest mistake was trusting you and being unfaithful to you. What is your response to that? Cirie Fields, I'm 56 in July, Sharon, and I have lived my life drama-free, right? And what I would like to I got. I mentioned my grandchildren, and a lot of times in my younger years, I felt I match energy. Whatever energy you give me, I'm gonna match that energy, but what I've learned is some energy. All energy and good energy, and it ain't worth it. You don't have to match anyone's energy to prove yourself. Additionally, people's perceptions are their reality, and there is no way to refute them. So why do it? Men's Journal, we didn't see much of your relationship with Aubrey. Despite you playing together before, did you have a relationship out there? Cirie Fields, we were cordial, but it was almost like understood without saying. I knew Aubrey would never want to go to the end with me, right? And so I felt that kind of, even though I felt the love, Aubrey knows we love each other, it goes without saying. However, in this game, Aubrey too, she has a family. Aubrey is there to win. This is her fourth time, and you know. Notwithstanding the love we feel for each other, we're all there for the same reason. So there was like that little wall between us, and when it worked for us. Listen, we need to vote this person out. I and you are not the culprits. It worked for us. I did. However, listen, when it came down to it, I tried to pin her, and she had to come for me. It is what it is, but there's zero love lost. Men's Journal. When you got back to Ponderosa, how did you talk to Ozzy? Cirie Fields. Ozzy was very apologetic, and for me, it was again, like I made so many mistakes in this 55-year life. Sharon, that I have been forgiven for and shown grace for, and that's all I felt like because, listen, Ozzy saved me in the first vote. Ozzy gave me an additional vote because, really, how can I be mad at you for making a mistake when all you did was try to help me out during this game? So that was what the conversation was like. Men's Journal. Jeff told me Amanda Kimmel was supposed to be on the season. How would that have played into your game? Did you talk at all to her? Cirie Fields. I have not. I've spoken to Amanda one time, and I knew she had gotten married and had a baby. That was years ago, and that was on social media before she got off or whatever. But oh my God, that would have been so iconic. I aspire to see Amanda. I would have loved to see Amanda there. It would have been just mind-blowing for us two. I'm sure her. Me, Tiffany D. It would have been Black Widow Brigade 2.0. Men's Journal. Did anyone ever consider getting rid of Joe and Jonathan? Or did no one see them as threats? Cirie Fields. I believe that everyone thought that they would never win. Aubrey has the right state of mind. You got to get rid of people who are going to actually win the game. Men's Journal. How was it playing 26 days versus the other format? Did you feel a difference? Cirie Fields. You know what? I don't know why, but I didn't feel that much of a difference. I haven't. I thought we weren't as sluggish because it had been another, I don't know, 13 days. To make it 39 would have been like, oh my God, just excruciating from a physical standpoint. From a hunger standpoint, but outside of that, not too much difference to me. Men's Journal. Is it pleasant or overwhelming when fans approach you? Cirie Fields. It's awesome. Let me also inform you of something. Sharon. I have to tell you this story. I was coming from Vegas to LA. I was there to accept the National Association of Broadcasters Survivor Award. And I'm in the airport and I see Shannon Sharpe there, so I see him. And I've also seen him interact in the airport in the past. That weren't to, like, he doesn't really want to be bothered, so I notice him. But then I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna bother Mr. Sharpe. I'm gonna let him have his time. So I get on a plane, and as I'm sitting there, here he comes. And I'm saying to myself, oh no, please don't let him sit next to me, please. And of course, he puts his bag down right in the chair next to me while he puts his stuff in the overhead. And then he picks his bag up, and he sits down. And it's obvious I know who he is, right? It would be weird if I didn't acknowledge him. So I say, hey, Shannon, big fan, I'm not going to bother you. Enjoy your flight, that's it. I want to acknowledge him. He responds, oh, thank you. Whatever, right? As the other passengers board the plane, we are sitting there in a line. And there's like, maybe the fourth person down, a young lady gets on, and she's with a lady and another gentleman, and she looks at me. And then she does the double take, and then she has this huge smile on face, so I know, right? She turns around to the lady and the gentleman behind her and says something. And they look and I'm like, oh wow, so as she gets up to the hour seat, she looks passionate and looks over to me and says, Cirie, big fan, oh my gosh, I looked and I saw it was you, and Shannon Sharpe goes like this, like, who? She offers an apology, stating, I didn't mean to bother you. And I replied, oh, thank you, no problem, thank you, I'm so honored, that is all my fault. Therefore, when people show me love, I am never bothered or irritated when they recognize me and want to say hello. Men's Journal. Anything from your game that you wish we saw in the edit, like any relationships we didn't really see. No, for the most part, what you saw is it, you know. Me and Jonathan had good conversations. Like real-life conversations that wasn't shown. Even Joe and I had actual conversations that were not shown. But I think what was shown, I'm happy with. Men's Journal. When Survivor calls, will you answer? Cirie Fields, of course. Pick up the phone because I always will for Survivor. But I need to know what capacity they require. If it's to do challenges and run up and down the beach, probably no. Thank you. This interview has been condensed and edited for clarity. Related. Ozzy Lust says I blew it after brutal Survivor 50 Blind Side exclusive. For nearly 2 decades, Cirie Fields has been one of the most beloved and respected players in the history of Survivor. From her unforgettable debut on Panama to her strategic masterclasses in Micronesia, heroes versus villains and game changers, Cirie built a legacy as one of the greatest players to never win the game. The beloved legend is reflecting on her most recent journey now, following her much-anticipated appearance on Survivor, and she asserts that she would never change a thing. Cirie discussed the emotional highs and painful lows of returning for the historic season. In an exclusive post-season interview, while many fans debated whether she made the right strategic choices, Cirie herself feels completely at peace with how her game unfolded. I have zero regrets, she said with a smile. It was true to who I am as a player. Every move I made, alliance I trusted, risk I took. That confidence may surprise some viewers, especially after a season packed with blindsides, shifting alliances, and intense gameplay. But Cirie insists that her approach was never about chasing perfection. Instead, it was about proving to herself that she could still compete at the highest level in the modern era of Survivor. People forget how different the game is now, she explained. It's faster, it's louder, and everybody's playing hard from day one. You can't just sit back and wait anymore. You have to adapt every second. Throughout the season, Cirie found herself navigating a cast filled with dangerous strategists, physical threats, and players eager to build their own legacies. As one of the most recognizable contestants in the game, she entered with a massive target already on her back. Several castaways openly admitted they feared sitting next to her at the final tribal council because of her incredible social game. Still, Cirie managed to survive deep into the competition, once again demonstrating the charm and strategic instincts that made her a legend in the first place. She has this ability to make everybody feel comfortable, one fellow contestant said during the season. Even when you know she's dangerous, you still want to work with her. That social brilliance became especially important after a major tribe swap midway through the game. Suddenly isolated from several of her closest allies, Cirie had to rebuild relationships from scratch, according to insiders. Her calm demeanor and emotional intelligence helped stabilize her position at a critical moment. However, the season's turning point occurred when a powerful alliance decided that Cirie's jury threat level was too dangerous to ignore, even though she tried to move the target somewhere else. The numbers eventually turned against her. Fans watching at home were devastated when Cirie's torch was snuffed, with social media erupting almost immediately after the episode aired. Many viewers argued that she had once again been eliminated, not because she played poorly, but because she was simply too respected to reach the end. Cirie understands that perspective, but she refuses to view her elimination as a failure. She stated, "Every season teaches you something, and honestly, I'm proud that people still see me as someone they can't beat after all these years." Because of this outlook, Cirie continues to be one of the franchise's most adored players. While other returning contestants often become consumed by the pressure to finally win, Cirie says she focused on enjoying the experience and embracing the adventure. She explained, "I didn't want fear to control my game. If I got voted out making bold moves, then so be it. At least I played." A number of cast members claim that Cirie also played a significant role behind the scenes as a role model for younger contestants throughout the game. Even players who ultimately voted against her reportedly sought her advice. She made everyone around her better, another contestant shared. Even when she wasn't running the vote, she was influencing the energy of camp. Longtime fans of Survivor have praised Cirie for staying true to the style of gameplay that made her famous in an era increasingly dominated by advantages, idols, and complex twists. Many viewers appreciated her emphasis on relationships and trust. After the show's conclusion, one fan wrote online, "Cirie reminds people that the social game still matters. You can have all the idols in the world, but it doesn't matter if people don't trust you." The emotional response from fans has only reinforced Cirie's iconic status within the franchise. Numerous viewers on social media argued that her influence on the game is unparalleled and called for her to be inducted into any future Survivor Hall of Fame. Even former contestants weighed in after the season ended, with many praising Cirie's resilience and ability to evolve across multiple eras of the show. Cirie does not completely rule out the possibility of her competing again, but she acknowledges that the experience was exhausting. "Whew, I'm tired," she laughed. "This game destroys you physically, mentally, and emotionally. However, never say never." That answer alone is enough to keep hope alive among longtime viewers who still dream of seeing Cirie finally capture the title of sole survivor someday, but for the time being, Cirie says she's just thankful, grateful for the fans who have supported her over the years, grateful for the friendships she built during Survivor 50, and grateful that even after all this time, she was still able to compete on one of television's biggest stages. When I first stepped onto that beach years ago, I was just trying to survive one vote, she reflected. Now people talk about me as one of the greats. That is more important to me than any title could ever be. Cirie Fields has once again demonstrated why her legacy on Survivor cannot be undone, regardless of whether she ever returns, and if her latest appearance showed fans anything, it's that some players don't need $1 million win to cement their place in reality television history.